G'day campers and drivers, I'm Jay from Jay and Bash and you're watching Camp and Drive Australia. Bash and I are currently up at Mount Beckworth at a campground called Cork Oaks Campground, and we've been up here one night and we're staying one more, and it is nice and warm up here.
We have arrived in the Cork Oaks campground and small, so we have a big tent. So we have to be specific with the size of the area that we want.
So our only other possible option is over here, but then we're camped right next to a couple of gum trees, which I'd really rather not be. So I think that first place is where we go. Just need to try and avoid that rock. The campground is on a bit of a slope. You'll find it difficult to find a flat place to put your tent down if that's what you're camping in. Trailers could also be a bit difficult. You certainly want your chocks to level up if you're coming here, but it's well worth a visit. Am I coming down the right way?
Yes, you are. Keep going. Keep going. Stop.
Just like the swag, we have only used this thing once before, so I think I might refer to the instructions. It appears that pumping up the ribs of the tent is the next step. We don't have the electric pump, we've only got the hand pump, which we did find was plenty big enough. It doesn't feel all that solid, so we are careful when we pack it just to make sure it doesn't get broken, because if you've got a pump up tent, the pump part is kind of important. Well, if I look a bit hot and bothered, it's because I am. We've just almost completed setup out there, and Bash has taken himself a chair in the shade and is quite comfortable. I, on the other hand, am boiling over. It's 30 degrees, just on 30 degrees here, and as you can see, I don't handle the heat so well, especially with physical stuff like setting up. So I'm in the car, and that loud blaring noise that you can hear is the air conditioner, because I've already drunk one full bottle of water, or almost one full bottle of water, and did pre-hydrate before the setup, and I'm still feeling a little bit hot and dry, so just taking it easy for a few minutes with the mod cons, and then I'll go out into the elements.
I'm cooking our lunch today. This is the chicken teriyaki style that I made from home. So I prepare all the ingredients from home and cook it today. And the challenge today is the sun's a bit warm and it's a lot of fly that I have to stand here under the sun, one of them, and guard the food.
You guard the food. I don't want flies on my food.
Exactly. If you want the recipe, it will be in the description. Okay, I'm turning it on.
Is maybe, I guess the body's about 8-9 centimetres long.
Well, this is the first day in the morning. It's about 8 o'clock. The sun is already high. The wind is nice though, the blow, even though the temperature is probably already 28 degrees. And today we're probably just going down the town to Clune to have coffee, because I was silly that I forgot to bring the saucepan to boil water to have our coffee with. It looks like it's going to be 30 degrees and it is too hot for us to do hiking. So this area is famous for hiking. There's about 8.3 loop, I think, the distance for the hiking to the top. Apparently the view is really good. I think it's worth it to camp around here in this season, so come over. I'm gonna show you our tent setup from the outside after probably taking about half an hour to set it up. If you have a family of 6, it's easily comfortable. That's why it's called the Evolution 86, is for 6 people. So basically this is also the air intake.
This is the interior of our Dacha tent. It's the interior of the tent we were showing you with the inflatable ribs and cross members. It's quite large. You can sleep 2 in this sleeping area here. I am 187 centimetres tall, or 6'2" in the old language, and I can stand up with probably an inch to spare in here, and that's with shoes on. You've got this one room, which we can have for sleeping, and this other area out here, which if I step into the bedroom area, you might be able to see a bit more clearly. And this can be used either as a separate room, or you can open it right up and basically use it as an awning, so it can be your outdoor area as well. But really, it's huge and it's very comfortable. The only thing is there's a ton of pegs to put in. Winds, I wouldn't necessarily want to be camping in it in that kind of weather, but it will not blow away if properly staked to the ground. It's got 3 million guy ropes and tent pegs if you want to secure everything, but it really is a big, comfortable and sturdy tent. The first time we used it, we did have an issue where we don't think we pumped enough air into the cross members, and it actually collapsed on us during the night, but it was just an issue of getting out and pumping more air in. But apart from that, we haven't had any difficulties with it. So far, so good.
This campground is surrounded by ferns with a lush green bush all over the place. This is type of ferns that's called bracken. They are a little bit different than usual ferns because their leaves are harder. It's almost like plasticky.
I do hear the sound of breakfast being made. What's on the menu?
So, gluten-free bread.
Good man.
With avocado.
Excellent.
And fried egg.
Fried eggs. Almost healthy except for the frying part, but we're good with that.
Exactly.
Right, it's much
I like
easier.
frying egg.
Me too, and it's much easier than boiling an egg when you're camping.
When we are in the country like Australia, where the sun is quite hot during the summer, like this time of year, it's in January. Today is not really hot, but about 30, so I need to put the sunscreen on. So I thought brown skinned people don't get burned, but that's wrong. We still get burned. So here we go.
So we are camping here. We're not alone. There are 2 other camps set up, one single and one family. You can see just over my shoulder there that there is a drop toilet on this side, so I'm going to go and check that out and let you know how good, bad or otherwise it might be. We had a good night's sleep. It was very quiet. One fella's got his dogs. His dogs were very well behaved, so this is a dog-friendly campground. And we were quite happy to have a chat to that fellow and pat his dogs, because we always miss ours when we go camping. We don't take them with us because they're not particularly camp-friendly animals. Oh, there we go. Just heard one of them in the distance. So yeah, so dog-friendly. toilet available. I'll let you know what that's like. As I said earlier, the whole ground here is on a bit of a tilt, so you'd have some difficulty finding a flat place for your tent or caravan, but you know, it's worth it. It's not too crowded, it's nice weather, or a bit hot for me, but you know, nice weather for those of you who enjoy 30 degrees, and the scenery is beautiful, and we're just in this little valley behind the mountains and surrounded by a sea of bracken. It's just, yeah, it's really pleasant, so I'd recommend this campground. You never know exactly what you're going to find inside these little tin boxes in the bush. So, as I said, I'll check it out. Well, I'm happy to report, not too bad. It's clean enough. There's toilet paper in there, although you should always bring your own anyway, just in case it runs out. Doesn't smell, or no more so than your usual drop dunny. So yeah, clean, tidy, very usable, happy with those. So certainly no reason to be concerned if that was what you were thinking about. The drop dunny is good enough to use. Well, sounds like a bit of a turf war down there. We've got some hikers with dogs and a camper with dogs. The dogs are at odds even if the campers and hikers aren't. That should hopefully give you some idea of the slope. So whether you're planning to camp in tent, caravan or motorhome, you'll want to take that into account when levelling up.